A very pleasant good evening to you as we welcome you from Skyline High School on the campus of the Coyotes. It's Red Mountain Football on Red Mountain TV. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kevin Derrybear alongside my broadcast partner in his sixth campaign with me here is Mr. James Poovey. It's Skyline and Red Mountain and JP. Back in the day, this game meant something. This game was one of those games that you'd kind of circle on the schedule and that you would really move your schedule around so you would be available all hands on deck for this one. It used to be a rivalry game when it was Angelo Perfumi's led team. It got nasty, it got bitter, and it was a heck of a lot of fun. But here we are tonight, and we have a chance to beat these guys for their sixth straight time in this 17th ever meeting between Skyline and Red Mountain.
It was an old 6A East Valley clash every time they got together, and I know we enjoyed it. We've had some battle royales in this matchup over the last few years, Kevin, and we're both aware of the bad blood between these two teams. I talked about it with some of the Red Mountain Mountain Lions on the field before tonight's ball game, and it's going to be a good one.
Well, you know, people were like, well, how did the bad blood originate? You know, there's a lot of different angles to it. There's a lot of different historians that have got feedback for you on that. But the one that's closest to home is just when Red Mountain and Skyline played a couple years back at Red Mountain High School, and then after the game, just all heck broke loose in that locker room. They destroyed some property. They literally defaced Joey Sanchez's mural in the locker room, and there was some rumors of, urination all over the locker room. These are crazy, outlandish allegations, but they held out to be true under Angelo Perfumi's direction. Again, allegedly, but it's crazy. Red Mountain and Skyline, you saw the tweet earlier in the day. The Skyline faithful, they believe that when Red Mountain comes here, they're going to always be heading home with a loss. Well, not the case. It didn't happen in 2016. So that's when Red Mountain really kind of took control of this rivalry. And when we say take control, you're like, wait a minute, didn't you just say that Red Mountain has won 5 consecutive games against Skyline? Yeah, Skyline is 2-14 in their history against Red Mountain. So you talk about domination, Red Mountain has owned this rivalry, and there's also that speculation that another team has to win before it becomes a rivalry. Well, Skyline did just that. They were able to get in the win column twice.
A lot of these guys on this team right here for Red Mountain, Kevin, they were freshmen during that heated game. I believe that was in 2017 that you were referring to back over at Red Mountain High School. So they have not forgotten the bad blood here, and we're going to be in for some smash-mouth football tonight.
So Tavion Sewing is back deep on the opening kickoff. We'll go right down the middle of the field. It's a low kick, and fielding that kick for Red Mountain is Merrick Braden. Merrick Braden has 1 career catch as a member of the Red Mountain Mountain Lions, and here he is on special teams. Now, first note here, we were looking for the place kicker, and that should be Preston McCabe, and he was the one to kick this one off. No relation to Kevin McCabe, if you're thinking that, James. But we are ready to go, and for Carter Crispin, 1,377 yards passing with 16 touchdowns and 4 interceptions as we begin play here.
We are ready to rock here at Red Mountain, ready for their opening series of the ball game.
From the 26-yard line, snap is back to Crispin. It's a run to Lennox Lawson, and Lennox with that patented stiff arm gets to the edge, and he's still on his feet, and he's finally going to be tumbled over out of bounds. Over there for Skyline was Kristen Colt Tellaro. Colt Tellaro making the tackle right there. His 44th tackle this season. That leads Skyline in that number. He's wearing number 19, used to be Zeke Branham's number.
An impressive portion of Lennox Lawson's game is his ability to hit the brakes as he approaches the sideline right there and scoot himself back into the field of play and pick up additional yardage even after contact, 3-4 yards at a clip. A great job right there.
Fake handoff in the play action. They go right back to Lennox Lawson. Lennox tries to run right through 3 defenders, and they're going to hang him up there. Making the tackle was Bo Langley. Bo Langley picks up the tackle there, but not before Lennox Lawson catches that bubble screen pass and gets positive yardage, enough yardage to move the chains.
We welcome everyone to the Lennox Lawson show out here so far at Skyline High School tonight. Now you see the power right there from L3, able to put his head down and run with power for additional yardage.
2 plays, 2 touches for Lennox Lawson. They run this sweep to Villanueva. He tries to break a tackle, and they're going to string him out. He's got nowhere to go. Great pursuit by that defensive front four getting in there for Alex Sargent, among others, as the Skyline Coyotes play here tonight wearing their dark green and their Vegas gold. They've got the white helmets this evening with white pants. Their home gear, Red Mountain once again with their patented black helmets, white jerseys, the Cardinal pants, and you can see a smattering of black socks with white socks. Shotgun snap back to Crispin. First pass complete to Preston Heap. His first catch on the second throw of the game here. Preston Heap makes the catch, and making that tackle was Gabe Tapia. For Tapia, he continues to make a lot of plays. 11 tackles for him. Give him 12 now. Coming off an 11-tackle game against Tucson, the Badgers, in that impressive win for Skyline. They lost 5 straight games before their first victory of the season last year. So Skyline's coming into this one hot here, James.
They are indeed, and they better find somebody to block number 80, big Alex Sargent, 280-pound sophomore. He's coming through.
Crispin on the rollout to the far side, jump pass, and that ball was intended for Preston Heap. And James, it looked like Preston Heap was wide open, and for some reason, he looked like he was going for the one-handed action instead of reaching up there with 2 hands and snatching that one out of midair.
Yeah, you want to high point that one, get that other hand up there so at least you have a little bit more chance to haul it in, but unfortunately it was just out past the fingertips there for Heap.
18 yards of total offense here on 3 plays here for Red Mountain. Here comes Skylar Evans to check into the backfield, and next to Skylar Evans is Parker McClure. We haven't even got the defense yet, and these 2 studs are playing offense right now in the first series as Skyline shows blitz. They run it to Skylar Evans. Evans tries to break a tackle, does, and he fights for first down yardage. He's going to take the football into Skyline territory. The ball will be mocked right near the, we'll call it the 47-yard line, but they're in Wildcat. It was Skylar Evans, 2-7, running the football.
I talked with Coach Garces before tonight's game, and he said, you know, he gets the pleasure of coaching these awesome linebackers here for Red Mountain every single week, and he said they had some Wildcat stuff in there in the game plan tonight for Skylar Edmonds, and there it was right there early in the first quarter of the ball game.
Yeah, I was surprised that they ran that play so early in this contest. That was a 4th down try for Skylar Edmonds. Last week on 4th down, he came in, ran the same play, threw an 8-yard pass to Lennox Lawson, moved the chains. This time it was the Skyline defense right there to answer the challenge. So here comes Skyline. First time tonight they get the football. They'll put it down at the 46-yard line. And we'll see who their quarterback is here. First play of the game, it's a run, and it's run blitz, and they get stuffed. A TFL for Tyler Cade Brown, along with Mr. Vanderlinden right next to him. Taking the snap here early in the ball game was Hector Dominguez. He appears to be a dual-threat quarterback, coming off a 130-yard, 2-touchdown outing against the Badgers from Tucson Magnet High School last week. In fact, he was 6 of 10 for 130, 2 touchdowns and a pick for Mr. Hector Dominguez. He'll also run the football a little bit as well. Works out of the pistol here. He's got 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. He looks left, dumps it off out in the flat. Ball's caught on the boundary, and making the catch was Jordan Blake. Jordan Blake is their Skyline's 2-way stud. For Blake, he is an outstanding talent, and you had Jordan Blake running right into a very firm tackle there from 2-7, Mr. Skylar Evans. As Skylar Evans, doesn't matter where he's playing on the field, he's making plays for this football team.
That was a great pitch and catch right there for Skyline, but Skylar Edmonds right there to close in a hurry and shut it down.
Nice bit right there by Edmonds. Gain of 2 now on that pass play. So Jordan Blake, he is the primary runner for this Coyotes team. For Jordan Blake, you'll also see him on the other side of the football. 432 total yards to lead Skyline. In 6 games played, he has 62 totes, 421 yards on the ground with a 6.8 yard per carry average to go along with 5 touchdowns. He is their workhorse tailback.
He is indeed. That time it was number 15, Jason Vanderlinden, jumping off sides that time for Red Mountain. He's making his first start here tonight for the Mountain Lions.
Little draw, they go up the middle. Here comes Hector Dominguez. Dominguez on the season, 14 carries, 50 yards, and a touchdown at 3.6 yard per carry average. And on this 3rd down play, they try to run a little draw there, and Dominguez runs right into that front 4, and that defense is came here a little bit fired up. They came here, and they're a little angry tonight, this Red Mountain defense here for some reason. All the stories about the tradition and some of the longer bus rides coming out here to Skyline, way out here in the East Valley off Crispin Road. Punt formation now here for Skyline. Back deep is Michael Mallory. Mallory makes the reception on the punt, and then he gets dumped over immediately by Bo Langley. Langley, a 6'2", 200-pound junior. They're on special teams. And it looks like Xavier Perez was their kicker. Perez, the punter, a 5'5", 127-pound senior. Just think about that for just a moment. Tackle football, 5'5", a $127. That is an unusual body weight to be playing. That's an unusual stature to play tackle football, especially in the East Valley.
Out there with the big boys in the 6A division, that is fearless is what that is, Kevin.
And exactly, it doesn't matter about the size or the stature of anybody. It's all about the heart, right? And I'm a firm believer about that. It's about the bite of the dog, right, James?
Exactly right.
So we have a little delay here as they'll talk things over. We began tonight's game just after 7 p.m. Our officiating crew here this evening, here at Skyline, the referee is Pat Jaranis. We'll go with Pat Jaranis. The head linesman is Paul Vaughn. The line judge is Glenn Punchios. The back judge is Grady Mack. And our umpire is Rod Zimkowski. Zimkowski is our other official here. The 22nd day of October, we're approaching Halloween, and I'll tell you what, James, it's that fall weather that we really, really enjoy. And when we feel and experience the fall weather as the nights get a little cooler, we're right near the gridiron somewhere.
Yeah, exactly, and this is why we put up with the treacherous hot summers is for the payoff this time of year.
This punt is blocked, and running into the end zone with the football for Red Mountain is Parker McClure. Kyle Enders put the block on, and Xavier Perez had no idea what happened to him right there. The 5'5", 127-pounder just ran into about 6 people coming at him in a hurry with some hunger. And the Lions, the Mountain Lions in this case, just took a huge bite out of the Skyline Coyotes with a block punt return for a touchdown. Unofficially, right near 20 yards for Parker McClure to house it for the second time in his career. Parker McClure is inning up in the end zone, pay dirt for Dirty 30.
How about that, Parker McClure? If I thought I would be talking about Parker McClure high-stepping like Deion Sanders tonight, Kevin, when I woke up this morning, you would have had to pinch me, but it just happened right there. That guy taking one to the house on defense for the Red Mountain Lions.
Snap is back. The hold is there for Cody Hall, and Kai Evans buries the point after try right through the uprights. 7:38 to go, quarter number 1. It's Red Mountain throwing the first haymaker of this one. They lead it 7-0 on a block punt return for a touchdown by Dirty 30, Parker McClure. How about it? You got Edmonds in the end zone a couple times this year, and then Parker McClure now he has made a visit to the end zone, and he's done that twice. In fact, both Edmonds and McClure have been in the end zone 2 times in their career.
These guys are just ball hawks. They're always around the football. Whenever you have a defense that has the ability, as Kyle Ender's defense does, to swarm the football on every single play, the payoff on that, Kev, is you're going to get loose footballs. You're going to be around those loose footballs, and you're going to be able to do something about those when you recover them.
No doubt about it. Skylar Edmonds, third on this squad with tackles with 41. Parker McClure leads this team in tackles with 75+. Now add a block punt to the ledger of Parker McClure. What can this young man not do on the football field? The kick is taken on the near boundary there by Gabe Tapia, a backup quarterback and a man that plays many, many positions for Skyline. They're led by their head coach, George Hawthorne. And for George Hawthorne, his team is 1-5 as they take the field here tonight. 1-1 in the 6A East Valley. And for George Hawthorne, I want to say, I think he's just the 4th head coach in the program's history for a team that was founded back in 1999. That's impressive. Only 4 coaches here for Skyline.
That's impressive indeed. We always talk about how much we enjoy talking with Coach Hawthorne, and unfortunately we didn't get the chance to do that tonight. At least I didn't, unless you did, before tonight's ball game. But he is just all about his kids and the toughness and really trying to grow the program out here at Skyline.
Yeah, no question about it. We'll back to George in a second. But first, it was Jordan Blake on the sweep right, and Brandon Kasmerick greeted him rudely. Give Kaczmarek a TFL. That looks like it was about an 8-yard loss right there. Outstanding play from the right edge for 99, Brandon Kaczmarek. Give him another tackle right there. This time it's a TFL. That's his 4th TFL of the season, his 7th tackle right there. And Brandon Kaczmarek, he too is growing up right before our very eyes.
A little ragdoll action in the flat there for Kaczmarek.
Play fake here for Dominguez. He pump fakes, throws over the middle of the field, and the ball is going to be incomplete. He was intending to get the ball in the hands of Gabe Tapia, a sophomore, but Ryan Grosskloss was up there to make it difficult and interfere defensively there as he gets PBU. I want to give you my impact players of the game. Offensively, it's Jacoby Lane and Carter Crispin. Imagine that. We're going with Lennox Lawson. On defense, go ahead, James. Tell us who I picked on defense. Again, this was typed up hours in advance before we got here.
I'm going to need you to enable that timestamp on your Microsoft Word there so we can get a timestamp. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
You got Parker McClure and Kaczmarek as your picks to click.
Just trying. Looking for some different. I had Tanner DeMassa last week.
You're trying to dial into the temperature of the team, Kevin, is what you're doing.
Well, I figured that we're going to see some different dudes here in the second half. I didn't know how long Kaczmarek would go. But you've got Tanner DeMassa. He typically plays that cat spot or the edge, but he is playing different spots. This is a team that continues to be beleaguered by injury woes. And there's not a coach in the business right now that doesn't have players that are banged up. So nobody's feeling sorry for the Mountain Lions. Here comes Dominguez on the scoots. And Dominguez is going to give himself up around the 35-yard line. That might cost him an extra couple of yards right there. But coming in a hurry was Quinn Roper along with TKB, Tyler Cade Brown, all those guys in pursuit. And the other guy in pursuit was 2-7, Skylar Edmonds.
Edmonds in there. So many Mountain Lions involved in that defensive play right there. And Xavier Fendenheim, another one in there. He was about to drop the hammer on number 3, Hector Dominguez. And Dominguez with a business decision right there for the Coyotes.
We'll get you a couple of injury updates. Cooper Beecher remains out indefinitely with that broken collarbone. Jaden Hurst remains out indefinitely with that high ankle sprain. How about Jaden Hurst? The J-Man picked up his first offer from the Jimmies. Jamestown University came a-calling. And again, Lyles is still out with that knee injury. Back deep again, it should be Michael Mallory. And Michael Mallory didn't have a lot of room to field that punt. In fact, he was basically in a phone booth right there when that punt came through and the defense was all over there. Good special teams play by Skyline on that particular play.
And some fantastic hang time on that one as well, allowing those guys to get down there and cover right away and not allow any chance of return. You talk about the J-Man, a fantastic job getting that offer there from the Jimmies of Jamestown, and that was a very heady play there for Coach Federico and the Jimmies.
Play fake here for Carter Crispin. Throws over the middle of the field, and the ball is going to be in and out of the hands of Lennox Lawson. I tell you what, you talk about a spin on the football with some touch and some accuracy, throwing right down the middle of the field, right over the logo. That was Carter Crispin to Lennox Lawson in man-to-man coverage, and Lennox just was unable to haul that one in. And to the credit of the defender, perhaps he was there to get a fingernail in there and break that one up, but what a pretty ball by Carter Crispin.
You just hope that he can haul that one in because it was a great throw, great catch. He had just a step on the defender, but just couldn't haul it in.
They work from the 33-yard line of Skyline. Pass out in the flat, and that ball's overthrown. Too tall for Tavion Sewing, the true freshman, to haul that one in. And had Sewing had a chance at that one, he would have had a lot of grass in front of him because he was able to, if he was going to catch that ball, it was literally a turn around and move up the sidelines, and he might have gone a long way.
Tavion Sewing is a product of the younger levels here at Red Mountain High School. He comes up, he runs really good, crisp routes, and he is going to establish himself here over the next couple of years for these Mountain Lions.
Preston Heap changes position. He lines up in the slot to the right. Lennox Lawson's next to him. Lawson's wide open. Crispin going for the deep ball. Deep middle, wants Lennox, and Lennox leaps up and makes the catch. And now they're going to say he dropped the football. Oh, wow, what a tough break for L3. Another gorgeous pass by Carter Crispin. And it was Lennox Lawson who appeared to have a great opportunity to haul that one in, James, and was just unable to control that football.
Oh, my goodness. That was heartbreak number 2 on this drive right here. And L3, I thought for sure he had that one. Crispin went back to him. That's one thing you want to do. You want to go back to your receiver and let him know that you still have that confidence in him. And unfortunately, L3 not able to pull it in.
Boy, Lennox was able to just streak down the middle, and initially when the ball was thrown, he was wide open. Great secondary help there by Skyline, and they able to get back and make a play. On the return right now, this is Alex Cook, and Alex Cook's going to make the fair catch inside the 30-yard line as the southpaw wide receiver throws one back towards the referee. No score for Skyline. 5:36 to go in this opening quarter. Our only score of the game is a block punt return for a touchdown for Parker McClure. His second career touchdown here. This one out in the East Valley. We are off Chrisman Road and the US 60, way out here. We are actually just a stone's throw away from Florence. And we're a week away from Country Thunder, but the idea was right. 4 down linemen here this time. They run it up the middle, and there's not a lot of real estate right now for Jordan Blake. Kyle Anders' defense is just going to be salivating on this offensive line here on the fact that it doesn't matter what Skyline will try to do, Red Mountain is just better, and they can run more numbers at them. When you look at the body count at the school, you can see the depth of the Red Mountain bench on the far sideline, and then you see the numbers and the body count for Skyline, the home team here, and they just don't have the numbers out here in the East Valley. But that's what you referred to earlier about George Hawthorne. He's trying to change the culture, and he's got some work to do. There goes Mamdine in motion. Sean Mamdine, and we're going to get a procedure penalty assessed to the Skyline Coyotes. 7-0 inside 5 minutes to go, opening quarter on Red Mountain TV. Kevin Derrybear alongside James Poovey. A lot of action to come here tonight in this football game, but then you can't look too far ahead, but the Queen Creek Bulldogs are going to be entering Red Mountain's neighborhood this time next Friday night, and that is a game that a lot of people have their eyes set on from an entertainment point of view. On the scramble again, it's Hector Dominguez. Tanner DeMassa, one of 3 guys there to converge on Dominguez. And it was Tristan Downland wearing number 69 down there in on the act there with that trio of defensive action from the Red Mountain Mountain Lions.
Nothing better, Kev, than when you get to call out multiple players in on a stop on defense. That's what you want to have happen every single play.
TD Tristan Downland, 5'11", 230, his 12th tackle of the season. Shotgun snap back to Dominguez. Dumps it off out in the flat here once again to his tailback, Jordan Blake. Makes a man miss. Scoots up the sidelines, got the first down, and finally he's going to be grabbed out of bounds by Brandon Kasmerick. Great hustle by 99. Going a long way to track down the fleet of foot Jordan Blake, and he broke a tackle there from Skylar Edmonds. You don't see that happen very often.
He broke a tackle from Skylar Edmonds, and then before that he put a move on Xavier Fendenheim there in the flat. That was some kind of play there for Skyline.
Jordan Blake in that win over Tucson Magnet, 29 carries, a career high, 273 yards on the ground. That's a 9.4 yard per carry average. 4 tutties and a 2-point conversion. This kid, Jordan Blake, can play tackle football. They sweep him right. He runs into the defense, spins back towards the middle of the field, and it gets drilled at the 50-yard line. Again, a pack of mountain lions all over that play. Tyler Cade Brown, one of the guys down there, along with Tanner DeMassa. And for Tanner DeMassa, that is his 45th tackle of the year. Again, that's second on the squad behind only Parker McClure.
You know, Jordan Blake, so impressive so far, especially for just a sophomore. 6.8 yards a carry. That is impressive in itself, and he knows how to run with power as well.
Out of the gun, it's the quarterback, Dominguez. First pass complete tonight. This is to Michael Fisher. Michael Fisher coming off a 70-yard performance against Tucson Magnet last week. 3 catches for 70 yards and a touchdown, and that is his 6th reception of the season. And for Hector Dominguez, that pass play is good to move the chains.
Great protection up front. He was able to set his feet and deliver a beautiful ball for a completion.
So Dominguez with a 10-yard pass play. They run a sweep to the near side. Andrew Bottomley will leave the ball game here momentarily. Checking in here for Red Mountain, the X-Man, Xavier Fendenheim. You have the X-Men at corner, Fendenheim and Sanchez. Doing a nice job right there.
Skyline subbing a lot of guys in and out, Kevin, with working with a lot of different offensive packages here, trying to trick this Red Mountain defense.
2nd and 12 from their own 43-yard line. Make it Red Mountain's 43 line. Dominguez wants to throw. He's got some time. Winds up, deep ball over the middle of the field, and this is trouble. And the ball is going to be caught. Caught inside the 20-yard line. At the 15-yard line, making the reception. It looks like it was Lorenzo Romero. Romero was backpedaling, leaped up and high pointed that one on really what looked like to be a happy birthday type Hail Mary from Hector Dominguez, and that prayer was answered.
Unbelievable throw. First of all, the ability there from Dominguez to escape the pocket and avoid the rush, and he throws it back across the field. And 4 Red Mountain defenders within 2 yards right there of the reception, and a great job going up and high pointing that football. A magnificent catch there.
Dominguez to Romero for 25 yards and a 1st and 10. Now in the red zone for the first time tonight is Skyline. They run it, and it's a run play, and Tanner DeMassa was right there to sniff that one out. He was the first one in the backfield to greet the tailback. In this case, it was Jordan Blake. So give DeMassa a TFL if it stands up. There is some laundry on the field. It appears to be, it'll be an illegal shift against Skyline. And I don't think our officials are mic'd up here tonight. So preliminary indication, illegal shift against George Hawthorne's Coyotes.
How about Tanner DeMassa coming off the edge right there? That's why you get up in the morning, especially on a Friday, come off the edge, unblocked, unabated to the quarterback, and just wreak havoc in that backfield.
DeMassa coming off an 8-tackle game as they take a look at one of the Coyotes who's fallen down there. And we always encourage everyone to stay hydrated. It doesn't matter what time of the year you're playing football. You've just got to continue to stay hydrated. Keep the juice. 1:10 to go here. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Red Mountain Football on Red Mountain TV on the Red Mountain Football Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Skyline High School. We're having a grand time here in the press box. It's always the best stuff. Always the best stuff is off the air. They go back to the ground game again, and it's Jordan Blake. And Jordan Blake literally was able to sweep away the first defender and then get towards the point of contact, and he gets pushed back in a hurry. And one of those guys involved there from the secondary, Xavier Fendenheim. And how about Fendenheim and the kind of performance that he put on last week for Xavier? He had 11 tackles, a career high for Xavier Fendenheim, and I believe was his second start of his career.
Fendenheim is a dude.
Where's number 24? This is an offset eye here for Blake. The turn, the fake to him. Dominguez wants to throw on the rollout. Here comes the pressure. He throws. He's hit as he lets it go, and the ball is going to be thrown out of bounds. And making the catch about 8 yards out of bounds of the end zone was Mav Starks. But great hustle as he continued to go for the football. And you know what? I like the hustle, right? No quit for Mav Starks, and he's really come on the last couple of weeks. Last week he had a pick and a fumble recovery to go along with a couple of tackles, including a TFL. So Mav Starks really growing up again. And you know, Kyle Anders just takes the guys that he has that are healthy and they're up, and he'll try to work with them. And he's had a lot of success. High snap. It's going to be a fake. Borden's going to throw. He can't even throw. He gets ripped down by Skylar Edmonds. Edmonds all over that play on the special teams. Trying to hold the football was Trey Borden, And Borden wanted to throw a pass, and he had nowhere to go at all. And here comes Edmonds to disrupt the party here. Special teams play botched right there by Skyline, and you have to credit the Red Mountain defense that forced the issue on that botch.
3 guys coming straight ahead, right at him. He had nowhere to go with that thing. He really had no time to even make a plan B before they had him on the ground.
You know, I have not seen Jacoby Lane out there tonight. That's something we're going to have to continue to work on. Where is Jacoby Lane?
You know, it's funny you mention that, Kevin, because I don't recall seeing him in the pregame either.
Yeah, I don't think Jacoby is on the playing field right now. And whenever that does occur, from a broadcast standpoint,
we've got to dispatch our sources.
Whenever you see something like that, you're always like, yeah, why would anybody in the brass of the organization share that with us? Because, you know, why? That's interesting. With the first 12 minutes, ancient history here from Skyline High School, we're going to take a break, pay a couple of bills, and we come back. Second quarter right here from Skyline as the Mountain Lions lead it 7-0. You're watching Red Mountain Football on Red Mountain TV on the Red Mountain Football Broadcast Network. I feel good after my rant. Did everything but destroy the set.
Is this that halftime night we've been talking about?
They put up 12 minutes ago. Here's Crispin, and they run it up the middle for Michael Mallory, and the Mad Dog right there with a first down carry, and he's got first down yardage. So nice run there by Michael Mallory. Mallory picked up about 8 yards right there, and that's going to be enough to move the sticks.
So when a new nickname is given, Kevin, to a player, how long we obviously have to credit Coach Andriotis for that because he gave us that offline last week, and it's fantastic. But my question to you is, how long do you credit a source on that on a nickname before you just roll with the nickname?
We're good.
Sweet.
Crispin, play fake over the middle, ball's caught. A diving catch as he makes the reception and rolls over the turf. It's Lennox Lawson. That was a nice play right there. Gain of 18 unofficially, 1st and 10. Carter Crispin to Lennox Lawson for 18 yards and a chain-moving catch in Skyline territory here for the first time as the offense. They run it to Mallory, starts in, bounce it out, break a tackle, and then fall backwards towards the 40-yard line. Making a play right there for Skyline was Timmy Bancroft. Bancroft with his 7th tackle of the season out of that free safety spot. He's just a freshman as Bancroft, 6'1", 144. This is the kind of player that George Hawthorne talks about. This is the kind of player that brings that lunch pail to school every day and just loves football, wants to become better. He's just a freshman. 6'1", a $144, James. He's got potential.
Absolutely, and he'll just continue to develop and get better in this Hawthorne-led program.
There goes Josiah Villanueva starting in, bouncing out. And then working outside the numbers right now is Josiah Villanueva. Gain of 20 yards for Villanueva. Ball will be put down at the 25-yard line. 1st and 10, Round Mountain working right to left. Breaking the huddle and working the slot to the left is Cooper Turley. This is a play fake. They set up a screen to Lennox Lawson. Lennox Lawson makes the catch and then turns around, lowers the shoulder pads, and goes straight ahead like a torpedo towards that Skyline defense and runs right into Timmy Bancroft.
You love to see that right there from L3. The finesse out there on the screen, and then he dials up the speed and just lowers the headgear and plunges ahead for positive yards.
Gain of 9 for Lennox Lawson. Lennox Lawson had 9 receptions last week in that 14-8 win on the road against Desert Ridge. First 6A Fiesta Region win, but 9 catches, a career high for Lennox Lawson with 57 yards as well and a touchdown. Play fake for Crispin over the middle. The ball is going to be caught by Gunnar Moore. He's going to take it in and score a touchdown. From 15 yards away, it is Carter Crispin to Gunnar Moore, and Gunnar Moore scores his first career varsity touchdown right there off the arm of a frozen row from Carter Crispin.
A beautiful ball from Carter Crispin. Unbelievable job right there. Great protection up front. It always starts with that protection that allows the quarterback to settle in to the play and deliver a strike.
So with 10:01 to go, the snap is back. Cody Hall puts it down, and here comes Kai Evans, and he swings that right leg through and drills that point after again. Kai Evans is starting to feel a little confidence kicking the football here for the Mountain Lions. 10:01 to go till halftime. Our new score, Red Mountain 14, Skyline 0, and maybe a sluggish start here. Don't tell anybody on the Red Mountain sidelines that, but 14-0, you'll take that lead on the road any day of the week.
Oh, every single time you can.
Particularly on Fridays.
Yes, every time. Especially on the road. Did we say that?
You know, I heard an interesting nugget on the way in, listening to a little talk radio on the way in, and they were mentioning that Ben Simmons of the Philadelphia 76ers not available tonight for the Sixers in one of their NBA games early in that 82-game slate for the Sixers. But it was Ben Simmons not available because he needed a day off, a mental day. And you just think about that. He's a grown man getting paid millions of dollars, and he's taking time off of the NBA for a mental approach. I know it's real. It's a major, major deal. Mental hygiene, mental awareness, mental health is overlooked in society. No doubt about it.
Absolutely a big deal for sure, Kevin, but it's a fine line. I am wholeheartedly in agreement with having to make sure that you are mentally stable in everything that you need to do. But there's a time where you have to realize that you have committed to a team and a team effort, and you're not being there is not being part of that team.
So
I might be old school.
Pardon me. The Kai Evans kick is a low-line drive end-over-end kick that goes into the end zone just inside the numbers here, and that'll be a touchback, and Skyline will have their ensuing possession beginning at the 20-yard line, down 14-0. 2 touchdowns scored by Red Mountain, one on a block punt return 20 yards away from Parker McClure, and then the other one, a touchdown to Gunnar Moore from Carter Crispin from 15 yards away. Touchdown pass number 17 for Crispy Crisp, and here it is, 2 point-after tries from Kai Evans. It's 14-0. Giving you a little soccer analogy right there on the nil.
And I understand you've got a little flashback Red Mountain Friday coming up in a little bit for us as well, Kev, for a nice little memory.
We're going to go back into the archives, and we're going to talk a little Justin Huffman tonight on the program.
Number 16, if memory serves correctly.
So Skyline wants to run the football. Some of their guys up front, some of their dudes paving the way. Raymond Fritz is up there. Fritzy, 5'8", 230. You got to like the size, James.
You can't teach 5'8", 230.
Cannot. Gorgeous evening here. When we kicked off, it was right near, I wanted to say, was it 80-something degrees? This is gorgeous. Dip below 80 now. We're at 75 here out in the East Valley. 9:23 to go to the break. It's 14-0 Mountain Lions. They show 4 down linemen. They're showing blitz here. Skylar Edmonds is talking some things up, and it looks like he might be on the way in, and here they come. Dominguez gets rid of it to his tailback, Jordan Blake, and I think he gets drilled by none other than Skylar Edmonds, along with Parker McClure.
Yeah, both those guys in on that play right there. And Dirty 30 just wrapping up, getting things done, and wreaking havoc on that Skyline offense, and now they're in a hole right here.
So they'll make some changes. Hustling off the field was Alex Sargent. Sargent, 6'2", 280. He's a sophomore. One thing that Coach Hawthorne does is he's playing his best players at the lower levels right here at the varsity level. Dominguez wants to run it on the quarterback draw. He calls his own number, and he runs right into Skylar Edmonds. And, boy, I tell you what, I like the toughness for Hector Dominguez. He put a shoulder in the Skylar Edmonds, and very rarely, and I mean very rarely, will you see Skylar ever dip back, and that time Dominguez might have gotten the best of him. Give the tackle to Edmonds, but Dominguez with some toughness.
Yeah, you'd love to see that right there for the Skyline Coyotes, especially if you're a member of the Coyotes. That'll fire you up and get you ready to play and have you firing off the football if you see your quarterback doing that and laying it out there for you.
The 5'5" senior punter, Xavier Perez, with the countdown to make sure he has the correct number of players on the field. That's 11. And Michael Mallory waits by himself at the 47-yard line. I think Mallory's going to take one back tonight if he gets a chance. Here comes Mallory, takes it off the hop. And he still has the chance. He's got the football, 40, 45, midfield, 50. Still on his feet, 45, down the sideline, cuts it back inside, and they're going to finally corral him around the 40-yard line. make it to 38. Matt Starks doing his best job to block for Michael Mallory, and the Mad Dog comes away after that tackle a little bit angry. A little feistiness out of the Mad Dog right in there. I don't think he liked how he was tackled on that series.
An aptly named player for Red Mountain right there, Kevin. They had him dead to rights at the opposite 40-yard line, and he said, no, I'm going to squirt through here and get to our side of the field, and he goes down finally across the other 40. What a player.
He flipped the field 21 yards for the favor of Red Mountain. Still no Jacoby Lane, and we will work on that through halftime. And we have Gunnar Moore and Tavion Sewing getting some work tonight. And here is Michael Mallory running off the right side this time with a big hole there. Getting some love up front there was Jefferson Giles and Rudy Robertson. Alex Cook over there with the stop for Skyline. Give Michael Mallory a gain of, we'll call it 7 here. Timeout taken on the field. The timeout taken by George Hawthorne and the Skyline Coyotes. 7:21 to go to the break. James, you got to like the tempo here and the push that Red Mountain's giving, but the question still remains, where is and what is up with number 5, Jacoby Lane? My only speculation, and I've got 0 tips on this, no inside information, I can only suggest that maybe if Jacoby was the slightest bit dinged, that this will be a great game to have him, get right and, take a week off as we head into that Queen Creek game, because you can win this football game without Jacoby Lane, no doubt about it. But when you want to take on one of the top teams in the 6A Fiesta region against the Queen Creek Bulldogs, led by Travis Sherman, you might want to have Jacoby Lane available for that game. Again, just speculation on my part.
Well, you want to have Jacoby available, and as you mentioned, if it's time to rest him tonight, if he's got anything going on at all, this is the night to do it, because you've got to have that guy, as dynamic as he is a player, ready for you to go up against those Bulldogs, because let me tell you, it is going to be some kind of matchup. And they got a matchup tonight as well, Kev. We'll have to get a scoring update on that. They got the Chandler Wolves tonight out there in Queen Creek.
Well, here's the deal. I don't see any 6'5" guys on the sidelines over there, period. Dressed or not dressed, civilian clothes or a uniform. Don't see it right now, so I don't even know that Jacoby is here right now, so we'll continue.
That is a great segue, not flipping the field, but have you ever seen a bigger number 80 than 280-pound Alex Sargent?
Ooh, give me some time on that one. I'm sure I might be able
You've
to come
called
up
a lot of football in your day.
Villanueva starts, stops, goes back the other direction, and then finally he's going to get dragged down. I will say this, that Skyline is playing here tonight. There's no quit in this group, and they're battling Red Mountain up front here early on. Good to see Javier Ronda Pinion back in the lineup tonight, anchoring that offensive line from the left side. Obviously protecting the blind side of Carter Crispin, but it's Jefferson Giles. He is the man on that line. Crispin with time, throws over the middle of the field. The ball's caught by Cooper Turley, makes the catch, and he drives towards the Skyline end zone. Cooper Turley, no catches last week after Cooper had back-to-back 5-catch games. He was held off the sheet last week, and it's good to see number 7 get an early catch here in the second quarter of this one.
We'll have to check the penalty right here. It looks like, unfortunately, it's going to go against Red Mountain. But Cooper Turley, good to hear him getting involved in the ballgame here tonight.
Skyline is 94 and 123 all-time. Okay. I do finally see Jacoby now.
Our guy, Coach B.
So he is involved in the offense, but doing it from a coach's perspective from the sideline. So he's probably got the play calls and all that good stuff.
Getting some mental reps, Kev. Oh, yeah, I see him as well at the 42.
Deep ball, far sideline, and the ball is in and out of the hands of Tavion Sewing. Ball was broken up. Back there defending things was Bo Langley, among others. And he also, back there was Timmy Bancroft. But what a ball again by Carter Crispin. This time you saw a little arm strength from him. The deep ball on the outside on the boundary. And Tavion Sewing, I believe, was interfered with on that particular play.
Yeah, a little bit too much contact past 5 yards for our officiating crew's liking, and so Red Mountain now the beneficiary of that, and we'll see if they can keep the drive going.
Don't see a lot of 80s defensively. There's a guy I'm thinking of. He's just not. He's not coming to me right now, but he's in that 80, 90 with a 0 on his back kind of number right there. It's coming to me. Might be a minute. Villanueva is flanked to the right of Crispin. There goes Lennox Lawson in motion. Timeout, Skyline. We'll take a timeout as well. 6:17 to go till halftime from Skyline High School. Red Mountain 14, the Coyotes from Skyline 0. You're watching Red Mountain Football on Red Mountain TV on the Red Mountain Football Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Skyline High School. Kevin Derrybear alongside James Pui. Special thank you to Mr. Ben Brandow. Nothing like getting the... We'll wait for the whistle there. Crispin snap back. They give it to Villanueva. Starts in, bounce it outside. And here comes the Coyotes defense. And Villanueva gets strung out. Nowhere to go. So again, another solid defensive play by the Coyotes defense as they're stringing out Josiah Villanueva, and all these plays trying to get outside, they're not really being effective right now. I like the Michael Mallory inside work here. If you're asking me if you're asking me what should Josh Barge call next on 4th and 8, well, I like him to throw it past the distance. But they run it to Villanueva. Villanueva is going to fight for the first down. I think this is going to come back due to holding. But in the area of holding where the flag was thrown, Villanueva was by himself dragging a defender. So that hold must have happened ahead of the play, and I don't agree with that call.
Absolutely not. First of all, that's you got to throw the flag back where the hold happened, and typically that would be either at or no more than 2 yards or so beyond the line of scrimmage, because if that lineman's any further than that down the field, it's another problem.
Yeah, speaking of problems, it's about communication. One thing it's nice to get is when the franchise is not going to play, you like to get some communication that he's not going to go, and instead you find out from the strength and conditioning coach who's listening to the game intently, and that's where we find out our information. To me, that's a communication problem. I'm not sure why after 8 years we got to figure that kind of stuff out on the air, but here we go tonight. We're going to find out about Jacoby Lane. And I'm sure the fans probably tune in. We're interested. Where's Jacoby? But, you know, we'll figure it out eventually. I think the head coach can share some information every now and then, in my humble opinion. 4th down punt here for Cody Hall. Love Cody Hall coming on the field as he just works hard. So a good punt, no return right there. 5:55 to go. It's 14-0 as the Mountain Lions hold on to this lead inside 6 minutes to go. And I got to tell you, we were it's just unpleasant around here. The surroundings here are just unpleasant. It's not like we're sitting in a rose garden right now. It's just, wow, somebody is ill very close to us.
Come on. Oh, man.
Coach Fall's up here in the press box with us. A shout-out to Coach Fall. And a shout-out to Matt Kelly, the defensive line coach, always doing a fantastic job with this group. Fendenheim has one-on-one coverage on the near side. Dominguez wants to throw. He's flushed out of the pocket. He throws on the run. He throws over the middle. The ball's going to be incomplete. He threw into double coverage, and here comes a late flag from the head linesman. The play is over. We could count to 5, and here comes the flag, James.
I was halfway to the nacho stand, and then I saw the flag hit the air. He was intended trying to find number 82, Alex Cook, the sophomore there, and I don't know what this penalty flag is about.
So here comes Lorenzo Romero, 5'10", $152. Has a 25-yard reception here in this game. And so they're going to call pass interference against Red Mountain. That's a tough call. So the Mountain Lions will have to work through some adversity here. They're pitching a shutout, 14-0. 1st and 10 here for Hector Dominguez, working left to right. 1-5 for Skyline. They lost their first 5, then 1 last week. Throws over the middle. The ball's going to be caught. Making a move in the open field is Bo Langley into Red Mountain territory. And finally, he'll be tracked down and thrown to the turf by Skylar Evans. I tell you what can't Skylar do? He covers a ton of real estate playing tackle football, doesn't he?
He does indeed, but that wasn't a whole lot he could do on that one. That was a great throw, and then Langley just running right down the seam, and it was a beautiful pass. He hauled it in traffic there, and he's a nice big target at 6'2", 199 for Hector Dominguez.
Unfortunately for Hector Dominguez, that 25-yard pass play to Bo Langley will be negated due to an illegal shift in the backfield. And here again, I'm going to be honest with you folks, that call came in well after we were picking up Mr. Bo Langley off the turf. That was an unusual call from the length of time. So these calls, maybe they're warranted, James, but they're coming in tardy.
It's got to be done within a certain amount of time.
So we'll back them up. It should be 2nd and 15 now here for Hector Dominguez. In motion was Bo Langley. He's in the slot to the right. Now he moves back towards the motion the other way. He's the action man. Long count for Dominguez. Here comes the blitz. Dominguez throws off the back foot. The ball's nearly intercepted. He threw it behind the target, crossing the field. That was Alex Cook. And it looked like Mav Starks might have had a chance to pick that one off as he was kind of going back. Probably Starks. If you saw that 6 and an 8, that 6 looks like
that's happened to me a couple times over the last couple of weeks.
That was Mav Starks over there. If you joined us late, it was a block punt return for a touchdown for Dirty 30 Parker McClure, and then Carter Crispin found Gunnar Moore over the middle for a 15-yard scoring play. Back in the backfield, here comes Quinn Roper, and he will absolutely decleat the tailback Jordan Blake. So give the defense a TFL. Tremendous play there for the Mountain Lions. And that'll be another 3 yards behind. So now it's 3rd down and 18 here for Hector Dominguez.
Defense going to pin their ears back here and go after that QB.
4 wide receivers for Dominguez. Dominguez lofts it for the far sideline, and the closest defender there was Matt Starks. He tried to run under it and haul that one in. You see it happen on Sundays, James, and on Saturdays too. There's not a play that isn't out there that somebody can't think they can't make a play on, or a ball to take a shot at or put the effort towards. You got to love the effort, man. Effort is everything, right?
Well, this game is all about effort. You've got to put yourself in the right place at the right time. You got to be able to adjust on the fly, and sometimes you got to get from here to there in about half a second. And it's all about your want to.
Xavier Perez puts this one up in the air, and it doesn't appear that Michael Mallory is going to have a return here. Oh, the ball's loose. As we can hear a little play-by-play from our PA announcer here tonight. Always appreciate that. So the ball was fumbled. It hit off the Red Mountain return man, and the Mountain Lions were able to pounce on it. Just getting word here, what is the soap opera that is Max Scherzer? Just an interesting note here, just passed along to me here in the press box. It's not football related, it's baseball related, but Los Angeles Dodgers starting pitcher Max Scherzer will not go for Game 6 in Atlanta tomorrow. That is now just nothing short of a soap opera if you're manager Dave Roberts. Crispin rifles a pass over the middle of the field. The ball's caught there by 84 one more time. Gunnar Moore, he makes the catch. His 2nd reception of the game, his 3rd of his career, and I just like to say the name Gunnar Moore.
It just sounds like a good football name, doesn't it? Gunnar Moore?
It really does. 6-yard completion, Crispin to Moore.
Gunnar Moore has got to at least be a wide receiver or a tailback, I would think. 4
wide receivers now for Carter Crispin. Rolls to the near side, stops, fires over the middle of the field. The ball's caught by Lennox Lawson. Lennox Lawson in space. There goes Lennox. He's going to go all the way to the end zone and score a touchdown for the Mountain Lions. Hold the phone here. Penalty markers on the play.
Oh, my goodness.
And this appears as though this one's coming back, but Lennox Lawson with a beautiful catch and run on a beautifully thrown ball by Carter Crispin, all for naught.
Coach Perfumi didn't throw that flag, did he? Come on with that. What was that right there? That was a beautiful throw and a catch from L3, and I tell you what, the best part of, when he got to about the 25-yard line, that guy almost had his jersey, and he just accelerated right out of it into the end zone. Wow.
The foot on the gas right there. That's going to negate a 57-yard touchdown pass from Carter Crispin to Lennox Lawson. And again, the whistle blew very, very late. So they'll back him up. It'll be Carter Crispin going to work Second down and long from his own 35-yard line. Snap is back. They run a delay, a draw to Villanueva to the 40. In space, 45, 50, 40, down the sideline, still on his feet, lowers the shoulder, and finally they're going to gang tackle him around the 20-yard line. Never could bring him down to the turf. They just shove him out of bounds. But great run there by Villanueva. One of the longer runs for him. He has an 80-yard touchdown run to his credit. But I want to applaud offensive lineman number 66, Nico O'Neal, 5'10", 210, for getting down there running with Josiah Villanueva. That's not easy to do.
That is absolute an effort play right there from the Red Mountain offensive lineman.
Crispin over the middle of the field. The ball's incomplete.
What you love to see right there as well from the Typhoon is the ability to go along the sideline. Most running backs will duck out of bounds, especially when there's three defenders coming right at you. Not Josiah. He will lower the headgear and take those defenders on and pick up more yards.
Unofficially for the Typhoon, a 46-yard scamper right there. Second down and 10 after the incomplete pass over the middle. Breaking the huddle and lining up to the right side is Preston Heap with single coverage across from him. Crispin looking left, wants to go to the end zone, lofts it towards that way, and the ball is going to be broken up. Cooper Turley was the intended target, and you have to credit the green jersey of the Skyline Coyotes that time, Lorenzo Romero, over there to break that pass play up. And I'll be honest with you, James, I'm surprised, and it's a pleasant surprise how well Skyline is battling Red Mountain here tonight.
Yeah, they're playing toe-to-toe right now. I mean, you say toe-to-toe, it's 14-0, but when you come out here and you think about this matchup and you look at the records and you look at the history of this matchup in recent years, you're thinking this is going to be all Red Mountain. Only by 14.
Crispin wants to throw. Ball is caught by Preston Heap, and now they're going to say he didn't catch it. It was actually the intended target was Gunnar Moore that time. Gunnar Moore wears number 84 for Red Mountain, just a sophomore, and I like his makeup, JP.
Yeah, he's a great player, and he is a big-time contributor here for the Mountain Lions.
Head coach Mike Peterson picked up career win number 40 last week, and that 14-8 Fiesta Region Road win over Desert Ridge. And that was another slobber knocker type game right there, but Red Mountain able to dig down deep and come away with a victory. So this is a 4th down and 10 play here for Carter Crispin and company, and George Hawthorne wants to talk things over. And whenever Mr. Hawthorne unloads on the headset and just takes a step towards the field, I'm getting out of the way.
Absolutely.
Look at Mr. Hawthorne down there. He is a specimen of a man, and with that dark blue jersey on, with the headset on there, with a hint of gray in that facial hair there. But George Hawthorne, he is just a dude.
Absolute dude. He is an imposing figure, that guy. And, again, we talked about it a little bit earlier, or tried to anyway. We usually get to talk with him a little bit before these games between Skyline and Red Mountain. And unfortunately, both of us kind of getting here a little bit late tonight. Not able to do that, but always a pleasure to speak with him.
3:27 to go to the break. It's 14-0. A special thank you to our technical producer, the man that makes it happen behind the scenes, Jeremy Knutson, and his impressive team here. We're on the road out at Skyline. Red Mountain East, we like to call it. This is the 17th meeting between these two schools, and Red Mountain has won 14 of those. Crispin on a 4th down and 10. There goes Cooper Turley in motion. Skyline showing blitz. Here they come. On the rollout is Crispin. He throws on the run. The ball is caught by Turley, and Turley's going to have the 1st down and more. And Cooper Turley is going to rumble into the end zone and score a touchdown. Another penalty marker comes in late.
Oh, come on.
Another touchdown pass from Carter Crispin to Cooper Turley. Let's see if this one holds up, James.
I sure hope this is not a penalty on Red Mountain, because Coach Pete might have an aneurysm here on this one. It is going against the Mountain Lions.
Holding assessed to Red Mountain. The 23-yard touchdown pass from Carter Crispin to Cooper Turley is waved off. And what a bummer for Cooper Turley, because I believe that will negate his first career touchdown as a member of the Mountain Lions, and that just is unfortunate.
That's very sad is what that is, because that was a fantastic play right there by Cooper Turley. And I love the fact that he decided when he got that football, I'm going to score this thing and no one's stopping me.
I love the determination from Cooper Turley to rumble into the end zone right there. Still 14-0 here, 3:19 to go till halftime. And
These officials trying to keep it 14-0, I tell you.
Well, they didn't even move the ball, so they just cost them the touchdown. 4th and 10. Snap back. Crispin over the middle of the ball is batted away and nearly picked off. What a defensive play in the middle of the field by Gabe Tapia. And the Coyotes stand on their head once again inside the red zone, and they deny Red Mountain here. Some self-infliction there, James, didn't help.
It did not indeed, and the penalties, you can call them what you will, but unfortunately the drive shut down right there by Skyline, and number 8, Gabe Tapia. He was gunning for his 3rd interception of the season on that play right there. Impressive.
You can hear the sweet sounds of AC/DC in the background here.
We can hear a copyright strike coming from YouTube here shortly. Bleeding over from the PA.
This is background noise. Jordan Blake checks in at tailback. 5 rushing touchdowns for him. Blake's pass, the ball's intercepted by Brandon Kazmarek, and Kazmarek's going to take it in the end zone and score a touchdown. Number 99, Brandon Kazmarek picks off Hector Dominguez and takes it to the house for a Red Mountain touchdown.
How about that right there? Right place, right time for Big 99, and he got his paws on that one and housed it.
Tell me one more time, JP. Impact player of the game defensively is?
Brandon Kazmarek.
That's another spectacular play by number 99. And Brandon Kazmarek, one of those kids that comes into camp this year, is a little bit raw, hasn't played a tremendous amount of football, just a junior. And Kyle Enders is coaching this kid up. And Brandon Kazmarek is making some plays right now for this defense. And that's the 2nd defensive touchdown of the night for this Red Mountain football team. And 4th of the year for Coach Enders' defense. The Kai Evans kick is up and through. 3:08 to go till halftime. Our new score, Red Mountain 21, Skyline 0. And JP, we got a little offense from the defense here for number 99, Brandon Kazmarek.
It is official. 99, Braden Kazmarek is a dude. 6'4", 235. He got on that one right there and got himself a pick 6 for the Red Mountain defense. He is really coming on here. He's got the length, and you can't coach that size, and he's just going to continue to get better and better for this team, and he's going to be a problem off the edge.
And when you just think about it, Ed Cole and I were talking about this a couple broadcasts ago. When you wear the number 99, you've got to have a little something behind that, and Mr. Kazmarek is just working his way through what he has to bring to the table wearing number 99. Braden Kazmarek, very unique spelling for the last name Kazmarek, K-A-Z-M-A-R-E-K, Kazmarek, 99. Now you could put touchdown next to his name, his first career varsity touchdown for number 99, Braden Kazmarek. On the return, out of the inside the 5-yard line, this is Jaden Paulette. Paulette is a 5'7", 135-pound senior cornerback. Also plays some wide receiver, special teamer on this particular play. And the Mountain Lions with some good coverage on the kick team, James.
Great special teams right there. They got to have it. They got to have some tune-up on that unit as well. We talk about that big game coming up next week against the Queen Creek Bulldogs. It's at our place, but they're going to come in ready to battle. And this Red Mountain team is getting a battle here tonight from the Skyline team, up 21-0, but they're giving them a fight, Kevin.
They are. Raymond Fritz is the center. Hector Dominguez remains at a quarterback. He's got 3 wide receivers, bunch to the near side. Snap is back for Dominguez. He's looked left, lofts it left. Ball's up for grabs, and the ball is incomplete. Supplying the coverage for Red Mountain was Xavier Fendenheim. The target was Michael Fisher. Michael Fisher, 5 receptions, 87 yards through 6 games for Skyline. It's a 17.4 yard per catch average, and throw it to Michael Fisher more often with that kind of average, huh?
I believe so. That guy was ready to try and go up and get that one right there, but just quite a bit, or a little bit out of his reach there. But the effort was on display.
Inside 3 minutes to go. Clock stop with 2:55 to go. This is a delay, and they run a draw to Jordan Blake, and Jordan Blake has nowhere to go at all. Great defense there by Tristan Downman, among others. Champ Jennings has checked into this ball game. He wears 50. He's on the football field right now. Coach Enders had a plan of getting a whole bunch of dudes involved in tonight's game, getting some extra PT, getting some more work. Coach Enders always trying to build for tomorrow. Coach Peterson philosophy as well. Brett Savory has checked in, that nose guard. 5'11", 275 for saves. Clock stop at 2:46 to go. It's 21 nada. Red Mountain on the strength of a couple defensive touchdowns.
And speaking of the Red Mountain defense, I had a chance to check on with Coach Garces before tonight's ball game. I've got a video of that interview, so if you'll follow me on Twitter at JP_BCast, I'll tweet that out here at halftime, and we got a chance to talk with him about his linebacking core in Parker McClure and Skylar Edmonds. I wanted to ask him, how fun is it to coach some dudes like that can do everything, Kev?
Oh, it's a blast. Versatility, you can't teach it. You know, either you are a versatile player, or you can certainly try new things and try different positions.
I'm going to get Mr. Knutson to get an action shot of us here, Kev.
There you go, having some fun. Got one of those, had to reciprocate back, you know. So.
Well, you have to. It's all in fun. It's all in love.
So there's Cass Merrick getting up off the pile there defensively there. 2:38 to go till halftime here, and now we get another player that's down for Skyline. And you can see big fellow George Hawthorne out there literally knocking people over to get out to see his player. And I'm exaggerating there. Coach Hawthorne didn't knock anybody over. If I see Coach Hawthorne at Bashes,
you're Olay on that. Yeah.
If I see Coach Hawthorne at Bashes and we're going down the same aisle, I'm telling George he can go first, right?
Exactly right.
You're like, Mr. Hawthorne, go right ahead.
That's why I say, Olay, sir. Go right ahead.
It's been a while since the Mountain Lions have scored 2 defensive touchdowns in the same game. And I know what you're thinking. How long has it been? Well, that's for our crack staff to find that out. But maybe we'll have
our statisticians.
We might have it for you next week.
You know, being a former law enforcement professional myself, Kevin, I would love to see Coach Hawthorne put a guy in a rear wrist lock. I'm just going to put that out there.
All right. I had no idea that you spent some time in law enforcement, Jim.
Yeah, a couple of years back at the Sheriff's Department in Dallas.
So the freshmen defeated Skyline 34-18. And, of course, in that contest, you played the entire staff. JV did not play this week. And back in punt formation one more time for the 4th time of the night. Here comes Xavier Perez. Angles towards the near sideline, and it's off the Mountain Lions again. And Tyler Brown will pick this one up, but I'm not sure what's going on special teams, but these Mountain Lion players have got to be aware of the football, and perhaps Michael Mallory could do some directing of some traffic, asking those guys to get the heck out of Dodge, because that's the second time in as many punts as that the Mountain Lions had to go into a fumble recovery drill.
Yeah, they're going to have to clean that up, because if they lose one of those footballs, that could be costly. They are up 3 touchdowns right now, but if you give Skyline a free one, that is not good.
So Villanueva has had a big run negated. Gunnar Moore has a touchdown tonight. Cooper Turley had a touchdown negated. And Lennox Lawson a touchdown negated. Pass on the far side. Nice ball and a good delivery on an out ball by Carter Crispin, connecting with Tavion Sewing, the freshman. And Sewing makes a nice catch as he runs out of bounds. Gain of, we'll call it 16 unofficially, Carter Crispin to Tavion Sewing. And that'll move the chains here, working right to left, entering Skyline territory here with 2:21 to go in this contest. And it's the numbers, the 2 and the 1 are wild. Play fake. Crispin over the middle of the field. The ball's caught by Heap, and he makes the catch and then turns around and picks up extra yardage. And it'll take 3 Coyotes to take him to the turf right there, led by 19 Christian Coltolaro, the leading tackler on this team. And let's wait a second as Preston Heap appears to be a little slow to get up here.
That was a great play right there by Heap. Unfortunately, now he's down on the turf with an injury, but it was a full-grown man play right there as he was carrying defenders for Skyline for extra yardage for the Mountain Lions.
Preston Heap in 6 games, 12 receptions for 241 yards. Give him 13 now. His 20.1 yard per catch average leads the club. And that's saying something when you got guys like Lennox Lawson, Jacoby Lane, Tavion Sewing, and Gunnar Moore out there running routes, along with Mr. Cooper Turley.
Tons of talent on the team, and I love the fact that we're calling 85 out a lot more tonight here and getting him involved in the offense, because that guy is going to develop into some kind of playmaker.
85 minus 5 is 80.
Is 80.
For those of you in higher math, but we're just that -5 is no Jacoby Lane, and that's why you're seeing some more work here. Crispin rolls near side. Ball is caught by Turley, makes the catch. The ball comes out loose, and now they're going to say it's a fumble, and they're going to give the football to Skyline. The ball came out, and Cooper was lunging for it, trying to sweep it back towards his gut, and unfortunately couldn't do it. If this stands up, it'll be a turnover on the fumble from Cooper Turley, and that'll be a takeaway for Skyline here. And now with the delayed action of this officiating team, they will indeed confirm that. It's a fumble for Turley, possession to Skyline.
A costly turnover right here, especially before halftime. But what you don't want to do if you're the Mountain Lions, you don't want to give Skyline any sort of hope here. You don't want them to get some points before halftime, and now you're going to start paying attention to that goose egg on defense, and you want to keep pitching that shutout.
Gianni Edwards was also in on that last play. 2:01 to go. Dominguez back to throw, steps up in the pocket, and he's going to go down in a heap. Penalty marker comes in again late, very late, as it looked like Vanderlinden was one of the first guys there, and Tanner DeMassa also getting up off the pile, but for Hector Dominguez, he goes down, and Braden also. Big B, big bad Braden Kazmarek. And you saw the play on your television monitors there at home, more than likely in some high-definition 4K television.
Of course.
Premium color. But the idea is that I didn't see the infraction that they saw. Dominguez to the flat outside. Fendenheim will make quick work of the target for Skyline. That is Sean Mamdine. And Mamdine makes the catch, and then he gets taken down to the turf immediately by Xavier Fendenheim.
And that's not the first time tonight, Kevin, that you had a phantom call out there happen that you really didn't happen to see. But you always like to do the roll call thing. How about folks follow us on Twitter? You can hit Kevin at KDB Voice and me at JP_BCast and send us a shot of your viewing area, your viewing party. Are you watching on the laptop in the office while you're knocking out some stuff, or are you got us on the 85-inch in the living room? Are we on at the cabin?
And if you're watching the game from the office, look around the room and then check yourself and pack up your bags and get the heck out of Dodge.
No
get
doubt,
home.
right?
Get home. Listen to the game on the headset or in the car on the way home.
Or maybe you're like Dr. Giles, you're in the audience and you're listening on the earbuds, on the AirPods.
Shout out to Dr. Corey Giles, as always. Dominguez over the middle again, and that ball is in and out of the hands of Lorenzo Romero, and probably a good thing that he dropped that one because he had some heat coming in his kitchen, and I'm not sure he was ready to deal with that.
You know, he didn't want any part of that. They were bearing down on him in a hurry, and he had to get rid of that football.
Tanner DeMassa among friends applying the heat right there, as Xavier Sanchez will tap out here in favor of Michael Mallory, the Mad Dog going back. And let's just go ahead and forewarn everybody on this punt team, stay away from the football unless you're Michael Mallory.
Yeah, and you might not want to kick to Mallory if you're Skyline because he is dangerous in the return game.
I do see a note here from our guy, the real Andro, Chris Andriatis. His suggestion was that maybe it was a game-time decision for Jacoby Lane. And I say may have been, but you can still let us know what's going on. Maybe it's a game-time decision. That's all we need to know. Just a little communication, just a little something. So if he was ejected in the Desert Ridge game, then that's a whole other story. We'll find out more at halftime. But, whatever
Inquiring
it is.
minds want to know, right,
Yeah,
Kev?
exactly. Asking for a friend, Coach Pete.
Yeah.
What's going on with Jacoby Lane, the franchise?
Asking for a friend. There you go.
63 seconds to go to the intermission. It's 21-0. I mean, it's difficult to talk to the coach as it is, but, I mean, you could simple text, just a little love, just something. Shoot an email. Anybody in the organization. It could come from Jeremy Knutson up here for all we care. Just share the information. Share the knowledge. There goes Lennox in motion. Crispin, deep ball. Ball is caught. Tavion Sewing. He's going to go. 20, 15, 10, 5. Count him up. Touchdown. Tavion Sewing. 68 yards to the end zone from Tavion Sewing. His second career touchdown off the beautifully thrown ball by Carter Crispin. He just threw a dime.
How about that for the freshman right there, getting out in space? It was a gorgeous throw from Crispin. That started it all. The line protection was there, and then Suing with a beautiful catch and run for the touchdown. Great to see him once again, as I mentioned earlier, involved in this offense. Keep it going.
What a finish for Tavion Suing. 6 catches on the season. Before that one, 4 for 66 and a 50-yard touchdown. He's got his career high now, 68 yards. Tavion Suing, the true freshman. I'll see you in the end zone.
Kevin, we get Tavion Suing fired up and get Jacoby back on the field next week. It's going to be hard to cover both those guys out there in Queen Creek.
What about Lennox Lawson? Put him in the spot
L3
there.
as well. That's right.
And Gunnar Moore, he's emerging
pick your poison.
with a healthy Preston Heap. So
pick your poison.
that was a nice play there. Beautifully thrown ball there. And I have to give a shout-out to the offensive line. The amount of protection. We could have run down there, asked Carter what the play was, and come right back up here. That's how much time he had. But the guys up front, we'll go left to right. Aronda Pinion, Nico O'Neill, Jefferson Giles, Rudy Robertson, and Max Bray. Shout-out to you guys. You just set up that touchdown, a 68-yarder from Carter Crispin to Tavion Suing. Wow, bang, bang, big-time play.
Absolute money.
And now we're getting all kinds of information. We're getting the information that we need at 8:12 on Friday night on what's happened at Jacoby Lane. It is amazing how you can talk for a full week about Red Mount football, and that conversation never comes up. And when you think about it, they always want to keep things in-house. Totally get that. But this guy, it's not like we're running to the Twitter machine, for lack of a better term. I hear this guy on the radio call it the Twitter machine. Much to my chagrin, it's just Twitter. It's not a machine, for crying out loud.
Exactly.
Am I ready to go on another rant? I just like it when
you're in rare form tonight. I like it, Kev.
It's clean air. That's a big thing for me.
Sure.
Breathing clean air.
Sure. Yeah, that helps.
And then I like touchdowns. I like TDs. Nico Garces at halftime.
That was some kind of touchdown right there for
Coach
Suing.
Garces,
I tell you,
right?
I'm excited. I'm about ready to order me an 85 jersey.
For Skyline, their first ever head coach was Peter Swartz. He started the program back in 1999. And watch out. This ball might be loose. Red Mount thinks they got the football. And it's Tanner DeMassa who recovered the football. And it looks as though that Hector Dominguez is a little banged up right now here for Skyline. And it is Dominguez who's banged up here. We'll take a quick break and injury timeout here from Skyline High School. You're watching tonight's 6A football game on Red Mountain TV on the Red Mountain Football Broadcast Network. after the Tanner DeMassa fumble recovery. Carter Crispin back on the field. From the pocket over the middle of the field, the ball is going to be caught and scoring another touchdown on the Mountain Lions. Gunnar Moore for the second time this evening. Carter Crispin with another touchdown pass.
Crispin looking really good here in this first half, throwing a dart that time and hitting Moore right between the numbers.
What a throw by Carter Crispin. And now the numbers in the scoreboard column, 34 point after try pending, and that is exactly what you're looking for on this road game. It was a slow start to this first half here as Kai Evans comes on. Snap back to Cody Hall, puts it down. The kick is on its way, and this kick is true. Once again, 40 seconds to go to our intermission as the Mountain Lions lead 35-0 over the Skyline Coyotes. And for Carter Crispin, 19 touchdown passes for him. He's got 3 in the first half, 2 of them to Gunnar Moore.
Unbelievable job. Crispin is really looking crisp, as we like to say here this evening.
Crisp.
And credit to the offensive line, Kev, because I can't say it enough. It all starts with those guys. If they're not providing the protection up front, because they were getting a little bit of run through there in that first quarter. They were getting a little bit of heat and flushing Crispin out of the pocket, but they've settled down here as the half has progressed, and they have really solidified their protection and kept him clean here in the second quarter.
Shout out to Mrs. Peever, always at the top of her game, getting things done, leading the way as the president of our Red Mountain Booster Club. Does a tremendous job in just her first year for Mrs. Peever, but she tries to keep us in the loop, as we say, on all kinds of information, all things Red Mountain football, but it's clear that we're not all in the loop, as she suggests, and that's just kind of funny. So we'll continue to have a good time with the lack of information on this game as we learn about Jacoby Lane's whereabouts. And we do get it. We know that Jacoby Lane is here on the sidelines, did not dress out tonight due to what we believe is an ejection from last week's game. But that's the drama that we like to find out. And we haven't been able to get on the field for these road games, and so we're missing out on some information that we would normally pick up on. So half the battle is to get down there on the field here. But we've seen some of these ADs at opposing teams, and even Mr. Gowdy to a time at Red Mountain. They like to get those lights off on Friday night and get out of Dodge. And I think on Friday night they should just all relax a little bit until we clear out, you know?
You think they'd like to move quick on Friday night. How about Thursday night? They'd lock you in the gates on Thursday night.
That's basically the reference that I had to bring that up, was from what Ed told me last night. Running with the football is Luke Delpreet. Delpreet with the carry. 8 yards for him. 21 totes, 56 yards for Delpreet this season. And the linebacker spot, he had 1 tackle last week. Quick tempo. They go right back to the ground game. This is a backup quarterback for Skyline. This is Andrew Bottomley. Bottomley also plays wideout and tight end, but he's the signal caller now as we learn about the fate of Hector Dominguez. But Hector Dominguez looked like he was a little wobbly walking off the field.
Yeah, he took a shot that time from Red Mountain's defense, and now he's going to have a half here to recover, but it's going to be a rough recovery there for Dominguez after that one.
It's 35-0 as we hit triple zeros here from Skyline High School. It's halftime. We extend the invitation to stay with us for all of our halftime festivities coming up next. You're watching Red Mountain Football on Red Mountain TV on the Red Mountain Football Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Skyline High School. Kevin Derrybear alongside James Poovey. It is 35-0. Carter Crispin with 3 touchdown passes in the first half. And here comes Shekinah Rigrish to begin the second half here for the Mountain Lions. She'll kick things off here from the 40-yard line. How about Shekinah?
How about this?
In her first opportunity to kick for Red Mountain, she was 4 for 4 in point after tries. And we believe that there is another young lady that has kicked for Red Mountain before this young lady here, Shekinah Rigrish. On the special teams, on the return, and here comes Jaden Paulette. And he's going to get taken down. Mav Starks on several tacklers down there for the Mountain Lions. Also, they're mixing things up is 6'1", 160-pound junior wideout Charles Ritchie on special teams. James, your thoughts on the first half?
My thoughts on that kickoff right there, first of all, Kevin, was that was a fantastic kickoff. Take a look at the distance on that thing.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Shekinah Rigrish doing a nice job out there.
First half, all Mountain Lions. It was a nervous first quarter, but they were able to settle down and play Mountain Lion football there in the second.
I saw Shekinah last week walking on the field, and I congratulated her. And, boy, the smile that she had on her face when I congratulated her, and I'm sure she gets that smile with anybody to congratulate her, but it was just the fact that it was the recognition of her and the idea that, wow, somebody pays attention to what I'm doing here. That's pretty cool for her. 4 for 4 for Shekinah, and she sets things up here with a nice play there. They try the ground game here again to Skyline. They want to go to Jordan Blake, and there is just no room to roam at all for Jordan Blake as this Mountain Lion defense continues to make plays here with wholesale changes for Coach Enders. He's going to have a lot of different bodies play here in the second half. So they go back to the quarterback here, and oh my goodness, he just got that was a slobber knocker shot right there. So for Skyline, it is, I want to be sure who the quarterback is. It's 5. So that is Andrew Bottomley. Bottomley taking the snaps here, and it was Bottomley there in space, and he got absolutely railroaded there on the far sideline. On the field here for Red Mountain, again, a bunch of different changes. Stephen Van Beekum is on the football field right now. Also on the field is Brett Savory. He finished out that second half on the field. In the secondary, and we'll get back to some guys up front, but in the secondary you see Paul Shipper. Shipper has 3 tackles this season. Also double nickels there, Tyler Brenner. Welcome back, TB. Tyler Brenner's out there. He missed a week. And you also see out there Carson Mauder. So Carson's healthy again. They run it up the middle and running right into the heart of the Red Mountain defense was Jordan Blake. And you talk about getting stoned right there. You pick your poison. Champ Jennings, among others, defensively there, James.
Yeah, they just have so many players here for this Red Mountain defense, and it's plug and play for Coach Enders. He's able to put guys in there and get them valuable reps and get them off the schneid, get them some varsity experience, which you really can't put a price tag on.
No, you can't. Good point, James. 10:09 to go, 35 nada. It's the Mountain Lions in the driver's seat here in this one, out here in the East Valley, trying to pick up their 7th win of the year. Snap is back. This is Bottomley. Over the middle of the field, the ball is behind the receiver who is crossing over. That was Sean Mamdeen. Mamdeen with a interesting line for him. 10 catches, 32 yards on the year, 24 longest.
But as you see 14 coming our way here towards the booth, Kev, very stylish tonight. He's got the pink rocking here for October Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and look good, play good, right? Isn't that what they say?
There's something like that. If you look good, you feel good, then you play good. That's what I always told my son, Josh. He was a big believer of that. I want to make sure Josh looked good when he played out there. That's for darn sure.
Absolutely.
Here's Mallory, as Mallory has to slam on the brakes as he falls out of bounds. And when play resumes, it should be Red Mountain football on the, we'll call it the 46-yard line of Skyline. And you have a short field here. 3 touchdown passes from Crispin in the first. And you also had 2 defensive touchdowns, none sweeter than the block punt for Parker McClure. And then the pick 6 for Braden Kasmerick.
Plays made all over the football field here tonight, Kevin, and more to come.
Carter Crispin on the sweep. This is Villanueva. Again, they go to the edges. Like to see him run something up the middle for Skyline. They just continue to make a nice play. Christian Coltalaro over there to meet Villanueva on the boundary there, but everything that they've tried to run wide, there just hasn't been a lot of room to work with, James.
You know, this Skyline defense has got a lot of speed on the edge. They got a little bit gashed in the middle of the field on the first half there by Red Mountain's offense, but when Red Mountain tries to get outside, there's not a lot there.
Crispin to the outside for Lennox Lawson. Down the sideline, there goes Lennox. Goodbye. Penalty marker on the play. This one might be coming back. Lennox Lawson, another house call, and you can see everybody with their hands on their hips turning around saying, another one's coming back? So interesting play there, but Lennox Lawson, again, just showing you his ability with that breakaway speed. And, boy, I tell you what, Lennox can fly. We talk about the Jets, man.
And when he gets in the open space, it is next level speed. And you know, we were blessed to see that with his brother for a number of years here at Red Mountain High School. That I don't know how to explain it. The loss in speed where they can just get out into the open field, and it is another gear.
It is, and one of the things that Lance always really credited his game to was playing in the development of playing flag football. And we could see a lot of that flag football ability with Lance playing tackle football. But I think Lennox might have one gear more than Lance, and I'm not sure if Lance will agree with that, but I love to see those guys go toe-to-toe. They sweep it again, and there's nobody home. One more time for Josiah Villanueva. They choose to run right, and there's nothing there. Great defense again by Skyline. Stringing that play out was Kevin Lee. Kevin Lee had 2 tackles and a forced fumble in the last game against Tucson.
I'm just going to put this out there, Kevin. If we can ever put that together, I will sit there at the folding table and sell tickets if we can get a 100-yard dash between L2 and L3 sometime out there at Red Mountain. I would love to see that.
I'll call my friends with the Epic Sports Network, see
hey,
if they
let's
want to
do
broadcast it. 50, 45, and then getting leveled was Carter Crispin. Crispin took a shot right there from Alex Sargent, and boy, I tell you what, it was the sergeant right there. It was a drill sergeant on that one. Absolutely got into Carter Crispin. Carter was able to scramble and run for his life a little bit last week, and some people might think he got some happy feet in there, but you know, right there is. I don't think you want Crispin taking shots like that there when I see the quarterback run down the field. But I don't think you want to see Carter Crispin slide there either. He's just too tough of a competitor.
No, you know he's not going to slide there, but you also don't want to see him get leveled like he did that time by a big 80.
Snap of the hands there for Crispin. Fires over the middle. The ball is going to be caught. And it looks like Tavion Sewing. Yes, it was indeed Tavion Sewing. Another slap to the right side, in stride, perfectly delivered pass there by Carter Crispin. And Carter Crispin is on the money tonight.
Crispin is very sharp tonight from the pocket and delivering some beautiful balls through the night sky. And I'm so glad to see Sewing once again getting the call here in the second half. And this freshman is something special.
That was his 3rd catch of this ball game. He lines up in the slot to the right with Villanueva, the only tailback. He runs a sweep to this side. And there's Villanueva again. He'll pick up some positive yardage, about 5 yards. He'll take it to the 20-yard line, and he gets popped right there by the sergeant one more time. Alex Sargent over there, he's starting to heat his game up. 6'2", 280, and he's feeling it right now.
And the thing about Sargent, too, he's only a sophomore.
Yeah, we mentioned Coach Hawthorne is really playing his best players right now, and he's got some size. And this is exactly what George told us 2 years ago. He said, hey, it's going to take me some time, but when they show up in my backyard, in my neighborhood, we're going to coach them up, and we're going to develop them, we're going to build them. And this is some of what you're seeing right now. Pass out to Lennox Lawson with a little faux shizzle. Another nice move down the sideline goes Lennox Lawson with some incredible footwork again for Lennox Lawson as he has that ability to run with amazing elusivity.
He does indeed. And it's just, you talk about the wiggle, and that is the definition of the wiggle right there, is his ability to just weave his way through traffic and almost not even get touched sometimes.
1st and goal to go from the 7. Michael Mallory is the back flank to the right of Carter Crispin. And now we're going to get a whistle here. This is the linesman indicating encroachment on Skyline. So that'll move him up a skosh. Already knocking on the door here in the red zone with a 35-0 lead.
You know, you talk about Coach Hawthorne and his ability to be able to coach up the guys that he has. That's the real true mark of a good coach, is being able to coach up the guys you have, develop them into a cohesive unit. It's great to get the all-star transfer from back east and a guy come out from California that put up big numbers in the Golden State. But, you know, when you can coach them up, that's the real sign of a good coach.
No doubt about it. More movement up front. When you said you talk about transfers, I would check in with Coach Mons with Sorrell. He's very familiar with that.
You are on it tonight,
and
my
then,
man.
Well, I mean, he is.
You're right. They're very adept.
When I talk about Sorrell football, for the most part, what Coach Mons does at Sorrell High, he runs a college program at the high school level, and so to me, that's a doff of the cap. It's the idea that if you go to Willow Canyon and somehow the Willow Canyon kid ends up in your backyard, that to me is what I kind of cringe at a little bit there. And we don't even know that that's happening.
Okay.
Cooper Turley goes in motion. We have a bunch to the right. There goes Michael Mallory out to the boundary. Crispin has some time, wants to go towards the end zone. He has Mallory. He throws towards Mallory, and the pass is batted down. Michael Mallory was going one way, Carter Crispin was going the other, and Crispy Chris threw across his body, threw a bullet towards Mallory, and the ball was broken up.
I might categorize that one as a forced ball right there from Carter Crispin. He really tried, made every check down possible on that play, trying to find an open receiver, and in my opinion, he should have tucked it and ran on that because he had a couple guys down the field able to block for him, but he wanted to try to fire that dart in there.
Yeah, but you also got the sergeant running out there, and that was the last time he ran. He ran into the sergeant and absolutely got drilled, no pun intended. What Coach Mons does, again, he is an outstanding coach for what he does. He runs that program in a very unique way, and kids want to play for winners. So if you want to go play at Sorrel, that's cool. Again, it's the process. Up the middle again, and let's see who's running the football. It's Josiah Villanueva. He gets tangled up there with Colt Tolero. Colt Tolero, the leading tackler on this football team. He had 15 tackles in that game against Tucson with a TFL. So he's obviously their dude defensively. Ball spotted on the 10-yard line. First and goal to go here. They run it to Villanueva, and he tries to run a little counter, and he gets tackled. Nice defensive play. Good deep there by Skylines. That was Jared Anderson, his 36th tackle of the season for the outside linebacker. He had 6 tackles last week against the Badgers.
We talk about the up-and-coming players here for Skyline, and Coach Hawthorne, a lot of those guys on defense.
So they update the sideline group. It's third down here. Crispin towards Lennox. Lennox spins out of a tackle, tries to drive his legs towards the end zone, and the Coyotes defense is going to keep him out. They deny Lennox Lawson on maybe the 2-yard line. So again, nice defense by the secondary. A quick delivery of the football from Crispin into the hands of Lennox Lawson, and Lennox unable to shake the defender and get into the end zone.
That was great closing defense there on the goal line by the Coyotes. Unfortunately for them, number 8, Gabe Tapia, coming up now, grabbing his elbow, so he's a little shaken up on the play there. But a great effort from L3 trying to pound his way across that goal line.
Nothing like having the 6-foot, 300-pound sophomore Julian Camacho run onto the field and play a little D in that defensive line. Villanueva has checked in. The fans are rocking the stadium right now. Villanueva gets the call. Villanueva is going to find his way towards the end zone, and he's going to score a touchdown. Josiah Villanueva breaks the plane of the goal line and punches it in for his 7th rushing touchdown of the year. And James, I was going ISO on Villanueva. He had the entire right side of the pylon if he wanted it, but he cut it back inside, took on contact, and finished the run. But he could have gone untouched into the far pylon.
You know, it's a different Typhoon. We've talked about it all season long. Back in the day, I saw the same thing, Kevin. He would have taken that pylon every single time, but now he cuts it back at the field looking for that contact, and then Big 66 comes up and helps him finish the job. Nicholas O'Neal plunging him into the end zone. Great job, big man.
Nico O'Neal, 5'10", 210, with the push up front right there. Here comes Shekinah Rigrish, trying to go 5 for 5 in her young career. This is a point after try here for Mike Peterson's football team. They're 41-0 leaders here, point after try upcoming here. And with this next point, that should put us into the AIA run it clock rule.
You know what I love about watching this right here, Kevin, is with the Shekinah Rigorish into the ball game. You know, it tells everyone that this game of football is for anyone who wants to play. And it's evolved into that over time. I'm really proud of that, being a former player from 20, 25 years ago when that was really unheard of. And nowadays it's a lot more commonplace, and it's outstanding because if my daughter grows up and says, hey, I want to play football, I'm going to say, let's go. I want to watch you.
Uh-huh. Jordan is a pretty little thing, and if she wants to play tackle football, as your friend, James, I'm going to try to talk her out of that. But that's just you and me. Snap back to Cody Hall. Here comes Shekinah Rigorish as he swings that right leg through and just buries the point after try. Right through the uprights here at the 4:33 mark. Shekinah Rigorish converts on the PAT. It makes it 42-0. Shekinah Rigorish is now 5 for 5 with her kicking game. 4:33 to go. We are now ready to begin the AIA running clock rule here on the next snap.
So Skyline now down 42-0, 4:33 remaining in the third. And Red Mountain just having their way with the Coyotes tonight.
If you guys are seeing a flash of light on me right now, that's just the flash of the light from the Pearly Whites, from Jeremy Knutson and his staff. They are so stoked that we're going to run into a running clock rule here. These guys know they'll be busting 45 from this point forward.
Well,
so,
they're on their phones right now, changing the post-game plans right now with their buds right now is what they're doing,
all
Kevin.
elated. Are you going to go check out that movie Halloween? You going to check that one out?
You know, it was
you
funny.
guys interested in that Halloween, the movie? I don't know.
It was
That's
funny.
Old school, man.
I had a student come in today at my desk at work and say, hey, I said, what are you doing this weekend? He goes, oh, I'm going to go see that new Halloween movie. And I just laughed.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
And he looked at me like, are you crazy? It's brand new. It's coming out. I'm like, yeah, it's coming out. That's right.
So Shekinah
For the
Rigorish
18th time.
from her own 25-yard line this time. On the return here for Skyline, it's Jaden Poulette. And just as he thought he had a crease, he had no crease. And here comes the special teams group again. One of those guys leading it down there was the Mad Dog, Michael Mallory, getting things done on special teams. That's what I like about Michael Mallory's game. He will put his helmet right in the middle of the fracas.
Hey, Mallory, get in there. We need a wedge buster. He's like, yes, sir, coach. Before he can get it out of his mouth, he's already trotting onto the field.
Special shout out to our guy, Chris Andriatis, who does a wonderful job coaching student athletes. He understands the game. He knows coaching very well. He's a good guy and a good friend, and he's a great fan of Red Mount football. He still has a dog in the hunt, as they say, and he's a man of rhyme and reason, I'll tell you that. Chris Andriatis, still close to the heart of this broadcaster, and just a good dude. Missed that guy around here. And you talk about some fantastic conversations at halftime with the real Andro. That was a good time.
Yeah, I missed that as well. We always got a chance to catch up with those guys. Sometimes it was for 5 minutes or so. Sometimes it was for 5 seconds, but always a pleasure.
Either way, it was Emmy award-winning stuff. We know that.
We're going to release all that stuff one day on a outtakes segment.
They go back over the middle of the field. The ball's going to be picked off. Here come the Mountain Lions with a chance. This is Champ Jennings with a blocker in front. He's going to go into the end zone and score the third defensive touchdown of the night for the Mountain Lions. Champ Jennings to the house for 6.
Unbelievable. What a great job there by 5'0", the sophomore, 6'1", 180, just streaking down that sideline with that touchdown in his hands.
Penalty marker on the play. Let's see what's going to hold up. The one thing I always like to talk about when I talk about Champ Jennings is his dad played at Arizona State, baby, and that is phenomenal.
We made it till 2:55 in the third. Go ahead.
You got to mix it in every now and then.
Of course.
Everything over there is on eggshells, too, in Tempe with everything that they got going on. And then, I don't know if you heard the news today, Mr. Sarver of the Phoenix Suns has a whole new –
I heard there's about to be a treasure trove of problems open up there downtown at 201 West Jefferson.
A kettle full of stuff, a cauldron full of, oh, my goodness kind of stuff. And so we'll just wait and see that here.
Well, when the organization sends out a tweet and kind of says, "Hey, they're trying to get in front of something," that's usually not a good sign.
So here's the deal: they're going back to the 39-yard line. And my guess is that they're going to take this touchdown off the board here. Or I can't figure out. Maybe I just don't know what happened here. Did Jennings step out of bounds? Maybe. No, I wouldn't. He didn't step out of at the 39-yard line.
I sure didn't see it if he did.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. Now we have Brian Hernandez now going to throw the football. Hernandez to the out to Gunnar Moore, makes the catch, tries to break a tackle. He's finally just thrown out of bounds. So the backup quarterback is number 6, Brian Hernandez. Gunnar Moore with his 3rd reception. He's got 2 touchdowns. And I think actually that was Gunner's 4th catch. He's been targeted 4 or 5 times. Clock rolling at 2:06 to go. It's 42-0 Red Mountain here on the road.
Brian Hernandez in the ball game.
They run it to Zhang Wang, and Wang is going to break a tackle, and then he gets absolutely leveled. By who? The sergeant, Alex Sargent, right there smelling blood in the water that time. He saw Zane Wang running with the football, and that was easy prey for him, and Sargent just literally steamrolled him. Literally, just steamrolled him.
Wow. Wang was rounding the corner there. He thought, oh, I'm going to break loose here. And then, boom, there's that big green jersey right in his grill.
You think you're freewheeling, and then all of a sudden, no. 280 pounds just leveled you. So Brian Hernandez, not Kyle Heap, is the quarterback here. Short drop, has some time, throws on the run. The ball's going to be caught far sideline, and trying to work his way for extra yardage for the Mountain Lions is Caprice Calhoun. And that is indeed Caprice Calhoun, his first varsity reception here. So we have some varsity first here in this one. And by the way, speaking of a varsity first last week, how about the blocked field goal by Skylar Evans?
Oh, how about that?
What a play, huh?
Unbelievable job.
What a play. So Caprice Calhoun, 5'10", a buck 85, remains in the game. He's flanked to the left of Brian Hernandez. They run it up the middle. And running the football this time, looked like it was Gianni Edwards. So Edwards gets the carry this time, running right up the middle behind that offensive line. One of the guys that's joined the game up front is Joshua McElroy. McElroy has played some right tackle. He started a game or two. Now he's in there getting some PT here. We're double checking all kinds of. Mason Allred also lines up in a wide receiver spot. Hernandez gives the ball up the middle on a handoff. Running the football was Gianni Edwards, and that'll be the final play of quarter number 3. We will change sides here, take a break, pay a couple of bills, and when we come back, 4th quarter action on Red Mountain TV on the Red Mountain Football Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Skyline High, to the sounds of Jump. If you're a college football fan and you like this song, you would hear this and see this on display at Wisconsin, at the University of Wisconsin. It's a big-time track that they play there.
Oh, Cypress Hill.
All right, so on that, somehow on the final play of the 3rd quarter, that was a 4th down play. So there was a turnover on downs here for Red Mountain. They'll give the football back up to Skyline, and they'll take the snap at the 12-minute mark, and this clock will run until the final minute here. And we'll go back to the song Jump. 42-0. And how about Gunnar Moore with his 2 first varsity touchdowns here tonight? What a night for that young man.
Impressive.
I formation for the quarterback right now. This is Hector Dominguez. And they'll run it to the tailback, Bobby Arbizu, 5'4", 155. I thought the guy that was 5'5" was going to be the shortest guy on the team, but Bobby Arbizu checks in at 5'4". You'd think media guy would give him that 5'5", James.
Yeah, you don't want to undersize him right there, but those guys are tough to grab, man, on the football field, especially when they're coming around the corner, off the block of a 6'4" lineman. You can't even see him until he's run past you.
So Bottomley takes the snap. They try to run it right, and there's nothing going on that time for Luke Delpreet. We mentioned that Delpreet had 56 yards on the season coming into tonight's game on 21 carries. Nothing doing on that right side. And now with inside 11 minutes to go in this fourth quarter from Skyline High, Red Mountain trying to boost their record to 7-1. This is not a Fiesta Region game. It's a non-conference game. A non-region game, as they like to say. I formation. Back deep is the tailback, Arbizu. Play fake here. Over the middle, the ball is behind the target of Gavin Bailey. And for good measure, the Red Mountain defender will bump him off the play. Right out, free shot, take it, right, James?
Every single time. Every time you got a shot, you got to take it, especially if you're within a step. It used to give you about 2 steps. Now you get about a half a step on defense.
Jeremy Knutson points out that the clock is running on that third down incomplete pass.
We're a fan of that.
Everybody here is elated, including Mr. Volcone down there getting things done. In fact, I didn't even see Mr. Volcone's headband tonight. It's all camouflaged. The snap is over Borden's head. And it goes straight up in the air. Clear out. Mayday. Everybody get out of the way. And it'll be touchdown at the Skyline 33-yard line. So that is not an effective punt.
A 12-yarder, Kev.
We had a little hang time, but that was about it. And it just dropped straight down as if it was dropped down from like a 24-story building. Just straight down that ball. Took a high carom, and it will be touchdown on the 37-yard line. And that is where Red Mountain's offense will come back onto the field here, staked to a 42-0 lead.
One thing, Kev, that we seem to have happen quite often is we have, over the last couple of years, we'll have a blowout game like this right before we have a really tough game.
Mm-hmm. That's good and bad, I think. I'd rather have.
Yeah.
They run it to Sewing, and Sewing is going to get drilled and taken down there with an excellent TFL by Christian Coltolaro. Coltolaro, again, with another tackle. He's approaching 50 for number 19, Coltolaro. Just a junior, and again, you look at Skyline's, the makeup of their roster, and they've got some players that will be playing their varsity schedules here, and they will be continuing to improve. And this time next year, this Skyline team might be formidable, James.
Yeah, they're going to start making some noise as they continue to gel here and play throughout the rest of this season with, I believe, 4 games left on the slate. Maybe 3 games now.
Fernandez winds up deep ball, has a receiver streaking down the field. It was Tavion Sewing, and this one is overthrown. Brian Hernandez, not a lot in the media guide here on Brian Hernandez, listed as a cornerback on the depth chart tonight. 5'10", 137-pound senior, thrust into the signal calling duties. And again, you wonder what's going on with Kyle Heap and why Kyle is not in this football game, but we'll pick it up on Twitter later in the week, perhaps. We'll find out what's going on. Just continuing to take shots at the lack of communication. But at the 7:50 mark, the clock stops. I wonder why.
That's interesting.
Why would the clock stop at 7:50 to go? And now the clock goes. Perhaps the official stop the clock. So it's Hernandez with a third down. Rolls to the near side. Throws on the run, and the ball is in and out of the hands of the intended target. In this case, it was Deuces. Grayson Olson out of that slot back just had one. Might have been broken up. We'll give Timmy Bancroft the credit for the PBU.
It was a great pass breakup, but it was a beautiful throw right there from Hernandez. That was gorgeous. And 22 had a shot on it, but it was just out past his fingertips.
So the clock continues to roll. 7:16 to go. It's 42-0. No question about who's going to win this football game. Red Mountain's going to win the game. But it's now about the debut of Brian Hernandez at quarterback. He could spin that ball a little bit. He's got 2 tailbacks in behind him. One to the left, one to the right for Hernandez. Snap is back. Here comes a blitz. He steps up through the pocket. Now he wants to go at the 40. Makes a man miss. Takes it inside the 40-yard line. Dropped at the 38-yard line there. Another nice tackle in the open field by Jared Anderson. And you can see some of the varsity players and some of the guys that play quite a bit for Skyline. They understand what's at stake here, and they know that the second, third team guys are out there, so they're starting to tee off on them just a little bit.
Yeah, they're getting a little bit overconfident. They're waving for a little bit of crowd interaction, being down 42-0. Usually not a good look, but it's all good, you know. It's all good. I understand they're excited. They made a play right there. But speaking of making a play, Brian Hernandez, impressive. Even on that scramble there when it broke down, the trouble was coming. He could have folded his tent, but he ran ahead, got out of there, and made something out of nothing.
It was a nice job there. And, yeah, again, Brian Hernandez playing quarterback tonight, not Kyle Heap. Which is surprising to me, to be honest with you. I didn't even know that where Brian Hernandez was on the depth chart. Skyline has lost 5 consecutive games to Red Mountain. You know, Angelo Pafumi was the guy that really, he got it done over here at Skyline. Pafumi was the bench boss for a program best 12 wins in 2015. In 7 years at the controls, Angelo Pafumi was 53-25 for Skyline. That was an impressive run right there. As a group, Skyline has lost to Red Mountain, as I mentioned, 14 times. And you might remember one of those games is a playoff game here. It was 2016. It was the second time in that same season we were playing Skyline. It was Justin Huffman who had that call. In fact, since we have a little time here,
wasn't that the back-to-back where we played them last game of the season and then came right back here for the playoff game the next week?
Good memory.
I think it was.
I think it was just that.
We're going to flashback Friday for you here.
We're going to give you that call here in just a moment. It was a game-winning 23-yard field goal, and I remember when that kick went through the uprights, just how the fans reacted to us here in the press box, giving us the Benzes. So they run it on the right side, and
yeah, we've had some fun with the Skyline fans here over the years.
Champ Jennings right there had a touchdown taken away, but Champ Jennings right there with a TFL. Fantastic play on that particular one. We'll go ahead and take it to you. It's a 58-second call. We'll give you the call right here. This is Justin Huffman, 2016, right here from Skyline High School. Huffman with a chance to give Red Mountain the lead. He missed a field goal earlier tonight. It's 4th and goal from the 6. Ball's going to be spotted on the 13-yard line. This is a 23-yard attempt from the right hash. A low snap, a good hold. The kick is good. It's good. And Red Mountain has taken the lead with 4:51 to go in the fourth quarter. Mountain Lions 16, Coyotes 13.
Credit to the holder that time on that play, Kevin. That was a little bit of a bad snap. He kept his composure, got the football set up there, spun the laces around. Excellent kick there by your difference maker for the game, who comes through again.
Blake Fitch with the play of the game. It was a low snap. He fielded it, got it up, and Huff did the rest. Wow, how about Blake Fitch going back to the archives right there? Justin Huffman, what a kick, what a night it was here.
That is some great stuff right there, Kevin. We got to do that more often.
Back to live action, and the pass near side on the way and out of the hands of Andrew Bottomley. Came up a little bit short for the Coyotes, Gavin Bailey. And good defensive work in the secondary again by the 2s and the 3s for Coach Ender's defense.
We just got a note here from the public address announcer. They would like to play a copy of that over the PA here at Skyline.
Wouldn't that be phenomenal? So congratulations to the Houston Astros. They will be one half of the bracket in the 2021 World Series. The representation from the American League will be the Houston Astros. They await the winner of the Dodger Braves series. Running the football is Zane Wang. And Wang puts a little zing into the run game right here. And he gets taken down to the turf by Jared Anderson. Excellent open field tackle by Anderson, but Zane Wang getting some PT there, running right off the right guard there with running downhill. Excellent work there by Wang.
Wang is really coming on here in the late stages of this game as well. He's another player that is starting to emerge here for this Red Mountain football team.
Snap is back, and they put the ball in the hands of 4-3, and he is going to take it into the end zone and score himself a touchdown. Caprice Calhoun, C squared to the end zone. And for whatever reason, for the fourth time tonight, this touchdown is going to be called back. And for Caprice Calhoun, he had 6, and they take it off the board. He loses his first varsity touchdown there on maybe his second or third carry in his young career, and that is disappointing.
Max Volkoon on the spot right there, about to adjust the score on the broadcast, and just in the nick of time, we see the yellow flag come out and negate the Red Mountain touchdown. Imagine that, Kevin.
Well, I believe, if memory serves, that is the 4th touchdown taken off the board here for the Mountain Lions. Otherwise, this game could be, like you said, somebody wanted to see a 70 spot.
A 70 burger.
Holy smokes. Hernandez will put it into the gut of Wang. Wang to the outside, still on his feet, turns the corner at the 20, 15, cuts back inside at the 10, and they'll stack him up around the 11-yard line. Zane Wang zigzagging his way across the football field here. And the Coyotes on their heels a little bit here with 67 seconds to go. Does Mike Peterson try to push the envelope here just a little bit and try to punch it in with 60 seconds to go, up 42-0?
Maybe a little bit upset about those touchdowns getting called back. I might take a shot right here if it's me.
So it's Brian Hernandez and Caprice Calhoun.
Suing one.
This is going to be they run again. They run it to Gianni Edwards, and Edwards is going to cross the field towards the 5-yard line. And he'll get a good push from that offensive line here. 35 seconds to go. Does Pete want to take another snap here and force the issue here just a little bit, up 42-0?
How about Bobby Arbizu out there for Skyline, though? That guy getting it done. 5'4", 155, Kevin. Out there playing with the big boys.
20 seconds to go. Brian Hernandez is at quarterback. They give it to Caprice Calhoun. Stutter step, go up the middle, and he's going to score. Touchdown. Caprice Calhoun to the end zone for 6 points for the Mountain Lions. His first varsity touchdown for Caprice Calhoun.
How about that? Just in the nick of time, Caprice Calhoun gets him one for the Mountain Lions.
Unofficially, we'll say 8 yards. They moved everything around so quickly, and I tell you what, they took that snap, and they wanted to get that play off, didn't they? They wanted to get in the end zone. Caprice Calhoun, congratulations to that young man, his first varsity score as he makes a trip to the end zone here. Shekinah Rigrish with a point after try here out of a Cody Hall hold. 8 seconds to go in this football game. And you can see the clock, the coaches down there saying just run the clock off. And now we're going to get movement on the right side here. So after the score, the clock shouldn't run off after the score. I believe the clock should stay, but these coaches for Skyline are done. They're not throwing in the white towel, but they're saying, hey, run the clock off and let's get off this football field.
Yeah, that's the optimum move there. You don't want to get anybody hurt, but it will be good to see Shekinah Rigrish get one more crack at the PAT here.
And if nothing else, that would be the voice of reason, saying, hey, you know what? I know you guys play and you practice as well, and we do the same, but in this case, we ran that football because we were trying to get Shekinah Rigrish a chance to kick the football. And who could argue that? It's 48-0. It will go final here from Skyline, where Red Mountain takes care of business and gets it done here on the road. They improve to 7-1 on the season. And for head coach Mike Peterson, he picks up career victory number 41. And for the Mountain Lions now, James, it's about getting out of this game here healthy as you can be, getting all your guys back, having your best week of practice ever, and then turning your sights towards the Queen Creek Bulldogs at home, who are really, really good.
They are a really good football team, and Red Mountain is going to have to play a really good football game next week to beat them. They're going to need to be solid all week in practice, be mentally strong, mentally tough. They're going to have to get in the weight room. They're going to have to get ready to battle because the Bulldogs are going to bring it.
Yeah, Queen Creek entering play this evening, 6-0. They're 2-0 in the region. And for Red Mountain, this is going to be a huge region game. Special thank you to Audie Atkins for his contributions up here in the press box with us tonight. For all of our outstanding constituents that work with us here, Mr. Vokoon and everybody, just a fantastic job here. Where James, we review real quick. Carter Crispin, 3 more touchdown passes for him. Gunnar Moore with 2 receptions in the end zone for him. His first varsity touchdown. He ended up getting a second varsity touchdown. Caprice Calhoun, his first ever varsity touchdown for that young man. And then Tavion Sewing on the other end of a long pass, a 68-yard touchdown from Carter Crispin. And then you got the defense. Boy, I tell you what, Kyle Ender's defense, they get the shutout tonight. You know, he'll be beyond stoked for that shutout. And with it, 3 defensive touchdowns. Brandon Kasmerick, a pick 6, a block punt from Parker McClure, and then, we'll have to see. What was the other touchdown if it was called back? It's a blur now, but we had at least 4 touchdowns called back. Jennings returned an interception.
Yes.
And then they called that one back too. But I could have sworn somewhere along the line we had 3 defensive TDs tonight.
Yes, we did indeed. Everyone got a piece of the pie here tonight at Skyline High School, and it's good to see some of those young guys coming in and making plays because we're going to need those guys next week against Queen Creek.
I'll tell you what, one thing about George Hawthorne and the Coyotes tonight, as you see the Red Mountain Mountain Lions with their newest tradition as they high-five all the fans that made the trek down here to the East Valley. Love to see that. Love Coach Mike Peterson's football team engaging with the fans. That's a great look. George Hawthorne has some good football players in this program, and they have a chance to be a good football team in the years to come. I like the development. I like where they're going. This is a team that graduated Zeke Branham last year, and they're just trying to plug in new athletes that live in this neighborhood, and they got some great dudes. So for Red Mountain, in the 17th battle against Skyline, they win it again. They win this football game for the 6th consecutive time. They are now 15-2 all time against the Skyline Coyotes, and that's an impressive number.
Red Mountain just continues their dominance here against the Skyline Coyotes. You mentioned the youth on this football team, but they're coming up slowly but surely, and Coach Hawthorne doing his thing here at Skyline and bringing up those young guys. And one of those young guys to keep an eye on, 24 Jordan Blake, a very impressive sophomore running back.
And I'll go ahead and turn the tie and say, hey, the guy I'm going to look out for is Alex Sargent, 6'2", 280, a sophomore. That guy did some dirty things out there tonight, and he was impressive. Throw back a little bit. First time ever that Skyline beat Red Mountain was back in 2014. They won it 28-27. Coach Pafumi led that victory. It was at Red Mountain High School, and Lance Lawson tried to score to the near pylon with a 2-point conversion that would have given Red Mountain the win. Instead, the Skyline defense was there to stop Lance Lawson at the goal line. That's how the game ended, and that was one I'll never forget. But that was the first victory ever for Skyline in this incredible battle. For my outstanding broadcast team and for Mr. James Poovey, I'm Kevin Derryberry, where the Mountain Lions win it 48-0. Until next time, so long for now.